So hello everyone. Today I have some stocks for you that you can trade tomorrow, and at the very end we'll also do Bank Nifty and Nifty analysis. So first off, we have Wipro. Wipro, if you look at a higher time frame, we are seeing lower highs being created and lower lows as well. Now let's zoom into the chart a bit and see what's up with Wipro. And when we do that, 1 second, what do we see? Do you see this area? This area which was initially support will now act as a resistance. So now this area has been acting as resistance once, twice, and thrice. So when can we go short in this? We can go short on the stock after it breaks this trend line. So if this trend line is broken, we can go short on Wipro. Our stop loss, I honestly wouldn't like a proper stop loss would be this, but even if you're keeping a stop loss to previous candles high, that's completely fine. First target would be the day low, as in the last day is support. You see, this was the opening. This was also area after which Wipro token support. So the first target could be this, and if you want to play it aggressive, your second target would be the gap filling, which is around 2%. So, and in this case, you have a risk reward of 2.36%. But understand, if the market goes above this level, then understand that this resistance is no longer applicable, and the next level of resistance will be this trend line. So if you want to short, you'll again have to extend, and you'll have to wait for Wipro to cross this. If Wipro breaks this and even breaks this trend line, then you can go long on Wipro. And next we have Apollo Hospital. So let's go to 1 day and see what's going on with Apollo Hospitals. So when we draw a trend line, you see that the stock has given a breakout. Now there's another thing I want you to see. The stock has also formed a triple bottom, right? And it has given a breakout as well. So this resistance, the zone of resistance has also been broken. Now the stock is in a bullish stance. Let's go on a lower time frame and see what is it forming. So now when can we go long on the stock and what is the possible target? Now this area will be our next resistance. So if tomorrow the market comes, as in Apollo comes down and retest this level, and then we have some bullish candles over this side, then we could go long on Apollo with our entry point being here. Our stop loss could be just below the candle that it gives us reverse from, and the first target would be this resistance 3%. If it does not gives us a if it does not give us a retracement, we could still go long on Apollo. However, then our risk to reward would not be very favorable. So long would only be above this level. But if you're doing that, see, your stop loss would probably be last day's low, and your target would be somewhere around 1.27%. So it's like a 1:1 risk to reward. But it is very likely that Apollo might come down, retest this resistance that was broken, and then move much higher. And in this case, we have a very good risk to reward. Then we have Axis Bank. First things first, come out in a higher time frame. And when we draw a trend line, what do we see? Support, support, and support. So there are chances that Axis Bank can take support over here. However, let's understand what is going on in a lower time frame. And in a lower time frame, we have two trend lines. I'll draw it again for you. We just join the areas where the price is taking support, which is this price, and join the area where price is taking resistance, which is this point. So if Axis Bank goes above this trend line, we are bullish in the stock, and our entry will be whenever it breaks out and gives us a closing. Our stop loss could be this, just below this 3 candle support. Our first target will be this day's opening, because this will act as a very good resistance. And if this is broken, you could easily aim for somewhere near the gap filling. Never keep your target directly at gap filling. Keep it a little below gap filling. And on the downside, now if it gives a downside, then again we can go short on the stock as well, with our stop loss being just above this previous high. First target will definitely be this, and if this is broken, then Axis might give us a very good fall. So do note about that. Then we have Grasim Industries, and for Grasim, let's come at the higher time frame. And what do we see in the higher time frame? We see that the stock had given us a double top, right? And what was the support area? This was the support area. So the stock broke the support. It has come back to retest. So what is it? What are the possible things? Now there are two things that are possible here. One, the retest is done, and if it breaks this trend line, all right, if it breaks this trend line, then we can definitely go short on Grasim. Risk to reward will be very favorable. Stop loss just above the last day's closing high, and after a first target would be this. But understand, if Grasim goes above this level, all right, if Grasim goes above this level, wait, let me delete this, above this region, this area, then you can definitely go long and you could easily keep your target for the gap filling. Your stop loss could be just below. Now, why did I say go long if above this? Because if Grasim comes and goes above this, what does it mean? That this breakdown was a fake out. The breakdown was just a trap to trap retailers, and the market might head higher again. But if this is a retest, then Grasim has to head lower. And where would it head? In a positional view, or at least head till these levels. First would be this level, and after that, these levels. So that is only if the retest ke baad, there's some kind of downfall. If it goes above this, it's just a fake out, and then you can go long with the first target being this gap filling. Let's look at Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty, let's not complicate things. All right. Now the market, because I've moved so much, these levels are not very relevant as I've noticed. So you go on a lower time frame, and what do we have on a lower time frame? On a lower time frame, we basically have a triangle formation. So until Bank Nifty doesn't get out of this, don't trade in Bank Nifty. If Bank Nifty breaks this pennant on the downside, just look for shorting opportunities. And if the Bank Nifty breaks above this, then look for going long. And another thing is that there's one more gap filling that might happen in Bank Nifty over here. After that, there might be some downside. So let's say if you do go long around here after the breakout, it might just gap fill and then fall back. So do note about that. And in Nifty is pretty much the same scenario. If I give you a higher time frame, there's again gap filling that needs to be done, but things are very confusing in a higher time frame when you look over here. So again, the same thing in this case as well. So over here, it's resistance, resistance, resistance. So if the market opens flat, you could still look for going short. However, the problem arises is that here we cannot really draw a trend line. It's been such a steep move. So what do? We rather draw a level being this. So this was also the resistance area. So it became the support later. And again, it retest the support and then moved higher. So if Nifty falls below this level, that's the only where we should be shorting it. So only short Nifty below this level. Above this, we might just be looking for going long. Another place where you could go for looking long short is over here because it's a resistance area. So on a lower time frame, say 5 minutes or something even lower, because right now we don't have any candles made. So let's say that this trend line is broken. This trend line is broken. You can still go short here. Why? Because this is a resistance zone. So yeah, that is it for today. Hope this will be helpful for you tomorrow, and all the best.